Welcome to the Coach V Show, your Hollywood radio show for personal development with expert insights and interviews to help you, me, and we work to be our best and live our best life. Offering for your consideration these success frameworks, behavioral models, and life lessons that if you should find value in them, that you subscribe and deploy all over your life, leadership, and business here on the Coach V Show, powered by the Island City Media Group, where the beach meets the streets, from the Dash Radio Studios, Hollywood, California, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Today, I am juiced to have in studio in Hollywood, California, brother Sam V. 25-year-old Sam V is New Zealand's fastest rising R&B showman. Having found his start with covers and live performances on YouTube at the age of 9, Sam V has spent the last couple of years diligently working on his craft, working with producers such as ASTRO, Chris Brown, Timomatic, Standard, choicevaughan, Diggy Dupé, SWIDT, Melodownz, and Eddie, Will Single, Kenyonn Brown, and Mikey Mayz. Mikey Mayz was in studio last month. Shout out to my boy Mikey. Sam V brings a fresh voice and dynamic presence to New Zealand R&B. Just 3 years after releasing his first song on DSP's Independently, 2022 found Sam V making waves in the local music scene, achieving host of notable milestones, including co-signs from Mac Ayres, Chunks, and James Vickery. New Zealand radio play from his track Come Through, top 10. Charting singles in New Zealand, including Jukebox, Come Through, and Biker Boy. And most significantly, winning Best R&B Soul Artist and Best Pacific Song for his collaboration with New Zealand artist SWIDT at the 2022 Pacific Music Awards, bringing the industry fervor to a new level. To top off an incredible 2022, he completed his first ever headline tour. Having received his first international festival booking, Promised Land 23, and relocating to the Los Angeles, Sam V has eyes for broader horizons. A fiercely talented and hungry newcomer, Sam V's trajectory is firmly pointed up, level up as an artist to watch in 2023 and beyond. You can connect with him on Spotify, on TikTok, and Instagram. Welcome to the Coach V Show, your boy, brother Sam V. Oh,
that was great.
Man.
You covered all the bases.
In the building. How is it? How has the trip been? Catch us up. What you doing?
Well, we've been here for 18 days. We've joined a dodgeball team out in WeHo, West Hollywood, as I've come to find out. And the Kiwis and I, we're terrible. We're rubbish, but we're loving it. So we've got some sports going on. We've joined LA Fitness, but most importantly, we're doing music out here. So sessions, open mic nights, a couple of shows. So it's been fun so far. Definitely settling in nice. Missed some things about home, but I'm very comfortable here, and obviously I want to relocate here permanently at some point. It's been great so far.
So introduce us to your family and where Sam V started. Where were you born? Where were your upbringing? Catch us up with that.
So I was born October 1st, 1997, which means I'm 25 years of age. I was born in Wellington, New Zealand. My dad is Cook Island Dutch, and my mum is New Zealand European, or Pakeha. So I got roots back in the Cook Islands to Mangai and Aitutaki, and I guess that's my lineage there. And then, so just been born in Wellington and then brought up in Auckland.
And talk about the projects that you're covering right now here in the States.
I'm trying to make an EP while I'm here, Cali tapes. So working on it at the moment, collaborating with different producers and artists that I meet on the way, and then hopefully by the time I get home, I've got a nice little packaged EP that I can roll out and be super proud of and excited to promote. So working on that, and then working on another EP with an artist called Hales. There's 4 of us New Zealanders here, just helping him write and work on his one as well. So it's fun.
That is fun. And talk about this journey for you. How has it been? And take your time with it. When did it start? Did you have to make any sacrifices? Was there a big jump? I mean, instead of just working a job, there's nothing wrong with working a job and raising a family. Nothing wrong with that. Sure. But that you choose to pursue your dream, overcoming your fears. Talk to us about that.
I was signed at 11 years old. Firstly, I'm from YouTube covers. So it's in the bio, but it's like similar to like a Justin Bieber type thing. That like a lot of the videos I was putting out, my mum was putting up at the time, not me. I didn't care about that stuff.
Right.
I cared about rugby and sport. But I was always singing and always doing music. And then just the YouTube covers start getting traction, views, eyes, attention, labels start wanting to get a piece of the pie. So I signed super young at 11 and again at 13.
Yep.
Released one single called I Want Ya, which is just sounds like Baby, Justin Bieber, and did really well back home in bits and pockets of Australia. So I was fortunate very young to be performing in the club scene, which is interesting at 13, 14 to be going into nightclubs and singing and performing. But yeah, grateful to get my start there. Saw some things I don't necessarily want to be seeing at that age as well. But moving into the independent space at 15, 16 years old, a whole bunch of learning. So I've been independent now for about the last decade. And just, I've definitely had to make sacrifices. I left my full-time job last year. So I guess in the whole process of doing music, I was juggling it with my tertiary pursuits. I went to university as well, college. Yeah. Let's say over here. Got a Bachelor of Communications. I was a radio major, did a bit of law as well. So got a bit of backing in that as well, just to be a bit more knowledgeable. But it's been, I guess, a whirlwind, a bit of a roller coaster in all aspects. I've kind of dabbled in a bit of everything, but I had to make sacrifices in terms of like, no girls, I got to stay pretty focused, and no kids just yet. And then I left work a year ago, like I said, to pursue music full time. And I guess I've seen some fruits kind of derive from that, which I'm thankful for. I think I'd saved up enough to a point where I could justify doing this properly for a while. Yeah. So here we are, and the money thing's interesting. We've honestly just sustained since I've left work, which I'm grateful for. It means I'm not really losing or earning. I'm just like this. Yeah. Just great. I'd rather that than, you know.
Real talk. And what has been the major challenges that you face as an up and comer, someone who's been known since 9 years old? Yeah. Right.
Man, I think the biggest challenge is probably just getting it's just the same challenge that every artist has, is recognition for your craft. Well, recognition means eyes, attention, exposure, which then enables you to have more opportunities, right? So, I don't know, I think when I was like 19, 20, I had a big chip on my shoulder because I knew the talent that I had and I possessed, and you just feel overlooked a little bit. But when you're independent and self-managed, it's kind of like when there's no gate being held out for you, just build your own. So I did that back home.
Say that again.
When there's no gate there for you, build your own.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, make your own, carve your own path. So I did that back home by really leaning into the community of people I was working with. I started a creative collective called YSO, Young and Slept On, people with a similar chip on our shoulder. And we just started collaborating every week together, like 2 or 3 days a week, doing visuals, doing songs together, doing EPs, albums, shows. I think I probably put on about 30 shows in the last 2 years in New Zealand.
Wow.
And that was just to add strings to my bow. So I know the value that people represent and what they bring to the table. And I'm grateful that I have that experience. But I'm also getting to a point now where I'm very willing to let go of some of those responsibilities.
Yeah, very good, very good. I often tell people that I coach, teach, and train, or the companies that I speak to, is that once you become what you want, what you want and were chasing now starts chasing and wanting you and attracted to you. Have you experienced that in terms of the value proposition that you bring to the marketplace or to your industry? Have you found that, okay, I stopped whining and complaining about it, and I engaged, I did 30 shows.
For sure.
And then now I became what it is that I've been chasing. Yeah. And now the doors start opening for me, and you're attracting the right people into your life. You start attracting opportunities. Yeah. Like, hey, man, you're in town. Hey, I heard you're in town. Come to the Coach V show. I mean, bro, is that real talk, and what have you experienced?
No, it's definitely true. I feel once you kind of, once you move into action, right? So once you start doing things is attractive. Like, I don't mean that in like a physical sense, but it's like, when you're productive and when you're putting things out into the world and it's consistently to a high level and to a high quality, the more and more you do, eventually it just starts becoming undeniable. And people are drawn to consistency. They like seeing someone who's always doing stuff, who's always moving. Even I do. Like, I look at some of my friends who are moving, and the ones that I'm inspired by are the ones who are consistent with their output, always doing shows, always releasing singles, always present. And I feel like when you do that, it leads to more opportunities. I wouldn't be here if the last 4 or 5 years I wasn't like grinding, like hauling ass, trying to make things work. Yeah. And trying to be productive. For me, one way I kind of look at doing that is I always have dates in mind. Dates I have things coming up, and dates I need to have achieved things by. So like I'm terrible. I don't keep a calendar, but I can tell you when my next singles are, and I can tell you when my next shows are.
That's it.
Right? Like, because those are the things that are important that I'm working towards. And if you always have that in the forefront of your thinking, I guess things just tend to happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I would, and you tell me if this is the same down in your part of the hemisphere and your experiences worldwide, is that daily habits, activities, routines, and automated tasks create flow.
Yeah.
That flow creates momentum, and that momentum lifts you to your next level of life leadership in business.
For sure.
Thoughts. That's how I would paraphrase what you talked about.
Of course.
Because out of mindset, emotional intelligence, performance, perspective, and effective communication, those things are needed to be successful in everything.
Yeah, you just rattled all them off.
But the doing, the performing, the engaging your craft, right? By speaking or singing, performing, those are the things that creates now your narrative, how people see you, right? All of those things that attract. I love that. It's not just a physical attraction. It's a success attraction. Yeah. Your thoughts on that as I say that?
People are drawn to momentum. How do you create momentum, by being productive and by doing stuff. So I guess by putting things out into the world, people want a piece of that. So a long time ago, maybe 4 years ago, I was sitting at my desk at work, desk job. I worked for a university called AUT, and it was amazing. I got to work with some incredibly talented young people. Right. I was like a project manager over there and looked over their media and stuff. It was great. But I made a list of all the artists that I wanted to work with in New Zealand. I love New Zealand music. I love New Zealand hip hop in particular.
Yes, sir.
There's like 4 or 5 names on there. And I was thinking about it. I could hit them up and I could ask them to collaborate, but I figured I'm not gonna do that. I think, honestly, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna be productive enough because I back my talent to the point where circumstances occur that I'm working with them. Right. They might reach out to me. All of them, they're all ticked off. I've done all of them now. Yeah. So I have to make a new list. Think bigger and like I'm not too big on manifestation because I feel like that's kind of like putting a little bit of reliance on the universe. Yeah, or something. Absolutely. Whereas I feel like more if you act, then you bring it to yourself in essence. Yes, sir. I need to make a list for hair, I think.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, and make a new list.
Right, and so that's part of the main things of starting, let alone maintaining that performance and those activities, though you don't see any progress, right? Is that, why not me? I mean, that's the first question. If somebody else can do it, why not me, right? Of course. And it's way better to shoot too high and miss, still hitting great heights, versus shooting too low and hit.
For sure.
Come on, Stan. Yeah. Anything else on that, and we'll move on.
I'm just gonna go for a 3 every time.
Yes, sir.
Shoot the 3 ball. I might break a lot, but like I'm going for it. Yeah, that's right. I just remember I had a meeting when I was about 19 with an industry person. He's a manager's artist. Yeah. Someone had told him to have a meeting with me, and he asked me what I think about me as distinctive. I said, bro, I think I'm the best singer you've ever heard. And he's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, have you heard me sing? And he goes, nah. I'm like, have you looked? And he goes, nah. I was like, right. So what are you basing that off? Yeah. And then he said, well, are you doing shows? And I'm like, I don't know how. And he goes, well, you're not doing shows, so like, you're not helping yourself. Like, and that lit a fire up my ass because like what he said irked me, and he said, I don't think you're anything distinctive or special. Right. And it irked me, it irritated me, but I like channeling that stuff and using it as fuel. I'm like, okay, I'll show you then. Went off, I started putting on the shows, putting on the local artists, and I became that person. That's right. The person that I wanted to be. I kind of assumed that role and became turned that energy into something fruitful. I love doing that.
Talk about, so many people talk about, okay, this is what I did to get this thing. Yeah. So many people focus on the outcome, and not that many focus on the activity that they did to achieve it. Right. Let alone the energy and the vibes that they carry. So I've met thousands of amazing championship people. Yeah. I have been very fortunate. I have been that. I have been around it. I have won championships on the collegiate football field. But when you walked in the doors here, you had that energy, that vibe. Oh, I'm glad I did. And I tell people that all the time, man. It's like, I will not hang around people that whine, complain, and blame, subscribe to their haters or their own self-doubt, right? And I'm attracted to people who got that vibe.
Yeah.
And the most successful people that I coach, they're all about, they call it energy, but I'm Coach V, so I call it vibe. You're saying V, so I'm gonna call it vibe, right?
Vibe, yeah, same vibe.
Having that vibe for you, and then what do you choose? Do you choose to handle anybody's vibe if you need to have that transaction, or do you stay within a certain vibe of people that you're like, this is my crew. If you're not this, I'm not messing with you. What's your thoughts on that?
I got my crew. I definitely have my crew, but I'm heavily social. I love meeting people because the world is huge. I'm trying to experience everything. So like since I've been here, I've been going to open mic nights, and I love going and backing myself and surprising people, and then just going and networking and stuff. I don't know. I like different interactions with different people because I can protect my own energy, and I know my worth, and I know my value. I know my vibe. So I don't mind encountering a little bit of this, that, a little bit of crazy in my life every now and then, you know? So it's just about being assured of what I am, what my goals are, and what's at the forefront of everything. And on the way, I don't know, I'm an extrovert, so I'm super social, and I like bringing people in. I like helping where I can, and I like inspiring or trying to empower people to believe in what they can, or, you know, what they can do, especially if they can do it. If I see someone's great, I'll tell them. Yeah. Or if I see someone's great and they're not adhering to their potential, I'll also tell them, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I definitely have my crew of like collaborators and stuff that I like to keep kind of close knit. But I'm open book in terms of I love meeting people and experiencing different cultures and different people's outlook on the world. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll just get caught in the same Auckland buzz, you know.
Yeah. And talk about your current projects. What do you got going on right now that we need to tap into, and what are you doing that is going to bring major traction that we need to be looking out for? What are those?
Okay,
projects?
so I just put out an EP last year called The One, The Lonely.
Yep.
Put your ones up.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a project right now called Cali Tapes. Working title. We'll see what it's called when I finish it up. But it's just an EP, I guess, documenting my travels here, my time here. We're gonna do some visuals and stuff. I'm just gonna say this is the best R&B you're gonna hear in a while. The best independent R&B you're gonna hear. I'll put that down. Put that into the universe. If you don't believe it, I'll show you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're doing shows and stuff too. So June 8th, I'm at Bar Lubitsch. I'm just doing those like showcase shows because if you work for the border, I'm earning no money here. I'm just spending in your U.S. economy as much as I can. All my hard-earned money going back to you guys, for real. But if anyone knows how to pay tax, help me out because I don't know how to do that. But
yeah. we can hook you up with somebody.
The accountant? No, this is for back home. But yeah, for here, I'm earning no money. Promise. Cost my heart.
And talk about what is the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome besides, you know, trying to get notoriety, try to get engaged, bring value to the marketplace.
Yeah.
Well, what are the major challenges that you face personally?
Man, it's got to be relationship maintenance, eh? Like in the music industry, it's ego. Like I definitely have ego too, but I like to say that my ego is undeniable self-belief, but never to the detriment of someone else. Like my backing myself is, I hope it inspires people to speak in a similar fashion. You should speak highly of yourself. The reality is that we're here for what, 70 years? Polynesians for some reason have a lesser lifespan right now. We're probably here for lesser, and I'm a musician, right?
Yeah,
so I'm probably here for even less.
So
while I'm here and I got this time, why not make the most of it, utilize it? Yeah. So I think the biggest obstacle, go back, relationship maintenance. Like you're juggling, it's a collaborative industry. So you're dealing with this person who helps with your music, this person who mixes your music, this person who distributes your music, the show promoter who isn't doing their job properly, the sound man who for some reason has a stick up his mully, right? like you're dealing with all of that. So it's because I'm self-managed, independent, I'm juggling all of these communications. So the biggest obstacle to me is like finding ways to wear every single hat, knowing when to be Sam the businessman, Sam the accountant, work in progress, any accountants hit me up, Sam the performer, Sam the writer. Like it's just trying to find ways to stay myself but also manage these conversations.
Yeah, that's right. So can I offer two things?
Yes.
One, here's a quote.
Yes.
Because you're dead on.
Yeah.
There's money in the transaction, but the wealth is in the relationships.
Yes.
That's a Coach V quote.
Sure.
Right? And then there's two things that people that do multiple projects, and I coach people that have multiple businesses, multiple industries, multiple brands, and so standards and expectations, and be great at communicating.
Yeah.
Repeat that after me. Say
Standards and communications.
Standards and expectations.
Yeah.
And communicate effectively.
Standards and expectations and communicate effectively.
That's right. Because now it's like, you're self-managed.
Yeah.
Here's the who, what, where, when, how, and why. I call that the gold standard.
Right.
Right. This is how we operate. And then now there's no missing piece of what your expectation is. This is our standard. Not just be on time, but be early, be prepared. So you now set what the standards and expectations are. And then if there's one thing that you're doing that's not, that is more than performing, is communicating, ongoing, never-ending communication about the standards and expectations. What do you think about that?
Well, striving to be better, always be the best.
That's right.
Yeah.
And communicating that. So this is what we're doing? Okay. I tell my people all the time, so repeat to me what it is that you're tasked before our next meeting next week. And they're like, Coach, we just went over it. I know we went over it. You heard it,
though,
but you got to know it. You got to say it. And how does somebody, how can you do something that's now stimulus and response, that's responding according to objectives, unless you've memorized it? Like your song, how can you perform it on a high level? And if you're still sitting there, So those are just things that I offer my management people. What do you think about that, Samvi? Can you apply that into your life?
I wish you were my boss at work. I wish you had the style of communication at work. We're getting spoke to for a long time. It was great. No, for sure. Right. You have to understand, similar to something I say to young artists when it comes to like performing, is never let them forget. Just don't let them forget. Yeah, like create moments for people and memories and stuff. Like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And the quote here in the States that I use, and it's by a poet, and her name escapes me, but it says, people will forget what you tell them. They will never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah.
And in your industry, man, people don't even know. They memorize the whole lyrics of everything. And then they play it back because they're like, I need to play that again because the first time I heard it, it didn't hurt me enough.
Didn't hurt,
And you know what I mean? Because you feel it. So they never, ever forget you.
Nah.
Yeah, that's,
you don't want to.
And so why music for you? I think I know the obvious, right? But why for you? Why is that?
I don't know, probably just an addict at this point. I've been doing it my whole life.
I know, 9 years old?
Younger. I started singing at 2. And honestly, I've never even thought about doing music. I just do it. It's never even been a thought. I think because my parents entered me into the world of music so young. I was singing at 2, entering competitions at 4 or 5. I'm sure Bruno was the same. I'm sure he never thought about it. He was just good at it, and so he did it.
That's right.
There's never even been a thought, but I've grown to love the industry more and more as I guess, grow into myself, grow into what I know that I'm good at, and I grow into how I can affect people and how I can make people feel, inspire people, and connect with people. Because extrovert, I just love connecting with different people, and being on stage is probably the best feeling.
Yep.
You know, actually, the best feeling in the world is converting a tough crowd, or converting a crowd who don't know who you are, and by the end they do. That's great.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
So talk about that. Favorite performance so far that you've really enjoyed. Where, when was it? What were you doing? What songs?
Damn, okay. Actually, one of my, even last week, what day is it today? Thursday. Tuesday, we went to an open mic night at Hotel Ibis.
Okay.
Hotel Lis. Not far from here.
Okay.
And my friend brought me along. It was open mic. There was a house band. It was hot. It was great vibe. Bit bougie for me. I felt a little bit out of place, not gonna lie. But he goes to the house singer and he's like, "Oh, my mate can sing." And then she said, "Well, can you sing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good."
Yeah.
Best singer from home. So where's home? Like New Zealand. Put me on. And she's like, "Oh, really? Like sing for me out here?" So I did. Put me on. Put me in the room. And I always start by saying, I'm from New Zealand and I'm going to sing Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. They hear the accent, they see my skin tone, they think, what's he doing?
Yeah.
No way he going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I do it. And then you see the turn into like that feeling.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite performances.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just because that feeling is like, I don't know. I love it. It's like turning a leaf, I guess.
Very good. How can people get a hold of you, get your music, and how do they connect with you?
At samv.1010 across all social media platforms, TikTok, OnlyFans, just kidding, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. I'll see you there.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
And then shout outs. Who you want to shout out here on the Coach V Show?
Shout outs to my boys back home. I'm missing a fix with my lads, not gonna lie. Shout outs to Whistler Guy, shout outs to Siegs, Jeremy, Shout outs to my parents as well, my family in Mangai, who I don't know because I never met y'all, but I will one day. I'm sure you're gonna want to meet me. You're gonna put the hand out like, can we have some monies? Yeah. So looking forward to those conversations.
Real talk.
And shout outs to Dak Prescott because he's my fantasy quarterback. Yeah.
For the Dallas Cowboys?
He's my fantasy QB, yeah, on Dynasty, yeah. So shout out to him.
My man, all the way from the NZ.
Guy. That's a good season.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And then, what has been your experience coming in studio, meeting our CEO, meeting our team, and coming here to the station on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? How's it been?
Hollywood Walk of, it's homely. Honestly, it's homely. You guys are so hospitable and kind, and I've come here and I've had a good time, and you make me feel like I'm at home, and people know who I am. And that's the greatest feeling here because you can feel very, very small coming from New Zealand and then coming to here.
Right.
And no one knows, no one cares. But you made me feel very validated this morning, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm sure you make all the guests feel exactly the same. And it's like a slice of home. I always celebrate meeting Polynesians in the States because I don't see too many of them, but when I do, I apparently have to go to Long Beach. True.
Yeah. Strong Beach. Shout out Strong Beach. Yeah.
I'm going down there. I'll see you girls there. No, but not really.
Thanks for coming on the show. And for those of you that tune in, please subscribe to the Coach V YouTube channel and Island City Media Group. We are broadcast live on the Dash Radio app every Mana Motivation Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and also on Facebook Live. Shout out to the ICMG team for doing that every single week. Shout out to my boy Q and the co-founder, Amin Green. And for Sam V and Coach V, it's just not for the sake of success that you tune into a show like this, but for the sake that you be your best. In doing so, you realize the best of your abilities and that everything and anything that you dream, work, and pray for can be achieved. This is how your boy Sam V, your boy Coach V lives, all about faith and family, grateful for God's amazing grace. Until next Mana Motivation Monday, you got your boy Sam V, Coach V, Hollywood-Radio Studios. We'll see you next time. Choo!